going to be demanding respect from other nations, Canada, Canadian, Canada.
If you've been keeping up with the news, you may be aware of President Trump's consistent suggestions to annex Canada.
He said we'd be a failed nation, and I said then you should be a state.
But why does he want Canada so bad? Economically, Canada is America's second largest trading partner and #1 export market. In 2023, 78% of all Canadian production went to the U.S., and 60% of all U.S. crude oil imports came from Canada. However, the main prize would be the Arctic.
We recognize that Russia is not the only nation making illegitimate claims. The U.S. has a long contested feud with Canada over sovereign claims through the Northwest Passage.
Around 40% of Canada's landmass is in the Arctic Circle. By annexing Canada, the U.S. could strengthen its dominance in global trade and Arctic geopolitics, counterbalancing the growing Russian and Chinese presence in the area, while also securing control over critical shipping routes. However, with both American and Canadian citizens not in favor of merging, it begs the question, what if Canada were to merge with a different union, one on the other side of the pond?
Let me put it in words you might understand. Mr. Trump, fuck off.
Though this idea may seem very out of reach, it isn't as impossible as one may think. We will focus on the 3 European membership groups with the highest economic impact: the European Free Trade Association, the Schengen Area, and the European Union, each of which having their own membership requirements.
If the president does choose to implement any tariffs against Canada, we're ready with a response. A purposeful, forceful, but reasonable, immediate response.
With the main requirement of being a European country, it isn't necessarily possible for Canada to join the European Union. If Canada were to be granted membership, it could destabilize the region, as the EU has previously turned down memberships for Turkey and Morocco, both because they aren't European countries. And although Canada does share both land and maritime borders with Denmark and France respectively, Canada would need to be given land within Europe for the condition to be fulfilled.
They will raise costs for you, including food at the grocery stores and gas at the pump. They will violate the free trade agreement that the President and I, along with our Mexican partner, negotiated and signed a few years ago. But it doesn't have to be this way.
A much more probable option would be to join the European Free Trade Agreement, which allows a country to participate in free trade with other EFTA members, as well as have access to the single European market, which could allow Canada to branch away from relying solely on the U.S. for the majority of its trade. Furthermore, Canada already has a trade agreement with the EU, the Canada-European Union Comprehensive Economic Trade Agreement, which already eliminates 99% of the tariff lines. With strong economic ties, as well as similar trade policies, Canada becoming part of the EFTA could indeed happen, especially if Canada wants to reduce its dependence on the U.S. And if it really did happen, it could possibly open the door to several more economic, financial, and diplomatic opportunities.
The enduring relationship between the European Union and Canada has withstood the test of time and only grows stronger. Geography may divide us, but there is no ocean that can part our shared values, shared outlook, and shared way of life.
One of those opportunities would be the possibility to join the Schengen area. Covering 4 million square kilometers, the Schengen area guarantees almost 420 million people freedom of movement in the largest free travel area in the world. The border-free Schengen area allows 3.5 million people each day to cross internal borders for work, study, or simply visiting families. Nowadays, almost 1.7 million people reside in one Schengen country while working in another. By joining the Schengen area, Canadians could move freely between Schengen countries without passport checks. This would mean 40 million Canadians could work and live in any Schengen country without additional visas or permits, increasing job mobility for Canadian professionals as well as businesses.
Our parliament passed the law that we can use live bullets now. So if you want to come to Poland, you will be killed.
Other than stronger economic ties, Canada could see enhanced security, especially along its border, with the introduction of Schengen-wide intelligence sharing and law enforcement cooperation. The only double-edged sword would be the need to adjust its border policies with the U.S., which could create more tension between the two nations. But given the advantages, it is a trade-off worth taking. While deeper integration and collaboration with Europe could bring various economic benefits as well as ease of movement, it would also challenge Canada's trade relationships, legal frameworks, or even its own national identity. But who knows? Maybe we could see a future where the blue flag of the EU flies alongside a Canadian one, where Canadians can travel across Europe passport-free and vice versa. Where one could wake up in Toronto, take a job in Paris, then retire in Barcelona without much bureaucracy. Maybe in the future, but for now, these ideas still remain in the realm of speculation. Decisions like these take years, if not decades. And who knows? Maybe the political climate will be different in a couple of years or months.
As President John F. Kennedy said many years ago, geography has made us neighbors, history has made us friends, economics has made us partners, and necessity has made us allies.